We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
We're recording right now, so as soon as we sit down, I think we can get right into it. A follow-up. Yeah. Grab a seat right there.
Sweet. I'm just trying it out.
Yeah. There we look.
Dope little setup.
Two very white guys.
Yeah. I was thinking how much I need to get sunscreen. Like I was at the grocery store and I was like, fuck, I can't forget sunscreen. And I forgot the sunscreen.
Do you, are you one of those guys that immediately blister? Like there's no gray area?
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm 40. Like that little whatever that blemish is like
melanoma.
Yeah, and I got one on my face. I got one on my like I'm 40, dude, 44. But and this is shit you're supposed to worry about when you're 60.
Yeah. Well, put your headphones on and we'll fire this up. Huh? Who thought? Okay. Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to another episode of the Safe Word Podcast. On the show today, my guest, John Moses, Canadian, lived in Jersey.
Yep.
Let me go back to the first time I saw you.
Okay.
And the first time I saw you was on the All Black Comedy Show. With Kenny Robinson's show at Yuck Yucks in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I distinctly, you saying, I don't know if this was your Jersey attitude that you'd exported back into Canada, but your opening line was, it's 2027, we're not afraid of you anymore. Like something to that effect. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? How come I haven't heard of this guy? I thought you were definitely a loudmouth American who were not intimidated by Canada's black culture. Angry Jamaicans didn't really put you off per se.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people were terrified to do that show.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone walk on stage with their dick out in their hand on an all black comedy show in Toronto.
Yeah, a significantly smaller dick.
Yeah, right? What are you going to do?
Yeah. It's funny because I'm from Toronto, and I remember like growing up, I had this like Gap shirt I probably bought for $6 and had an American flag on it, and everybody just assumed like, oh, where are you from? Are you from Boston? I'm like, dude, I live on the next block, dude.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were a Boston guy.
Right.
Is that because you've inherited the white redheaded Bill Burr
Yes.
thing.
Right.
Right?
Listen. There's plenty of.
You've got your own paradigm of discrimination and stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, buddy, like slightly racist redheaded assholes aren't just from Boston, guys.
Yeah, you can find them in Halifax. Anything closest to Ireland is potentially for a
right. The first stops. Right.
Yeah. Do you have family in Ireland?
I don't.
No, Sri Lanka.
Yeah. It's like people are always like, I've always been cruising for a fight, right? So like people like growing up would be like, "Oh, are you Irish?" I'm like, I fucking hate Irish people. I'm probably a little Irish, you know. Like I'm Scottish. Like my best friend's Irish. I've had my nose and my jaw broken on St. Patrick's Day on separate St. Patrick's days, and
in Canada.
In Canada, yeah.
No shit.
Oh no, sorry. One was in Canada and at the Alpine in Toronto. That was my jaw.
Yeah.
And my nose. I got my nose broken in Rhode Island. I don't drink anymore. I don't do anything because of those types of.
How long have you
decisions.
been off the piss?
17 years.
I just came up on New Year's on 8.
Oh wow, shit.
8.
Oh man,
yeah, I know.
No idea.
Yeah, no one surprised me more than me. No, but I initially I quit for 6 years when I started comedy.
Yeah.
But so how do you have a visa? How are you living in like what was your Jersey roots?
So you know how a lot of people get through Jersey, a series of mistakes.
Yeah.
I wound up there. I moved to. First stop was like Massachusetts. I lived there for a little while, and then I lived in New York for Brooklyn for 10 years, and then met a woman, got pregnant, and then we were like, fuck, we don't want to bring a baby up in this shithole. So then we moved to Jersey, and now I'm divorced and I'm stuck in Jersey.
Yeah, I was going to ask because I actually stopped paying attention to your career once you announced that you had a child.
Yeah.
I kind of backed off. I was like, go. I got a baby. Fuck me.
You know, it's so funny, man. Like, I had a manager at the time. He's like, are you sure getting married's the right thing to do right now? I go, you don't fucking tell me what to do, buddy. And he was totally right.
No, you're still like active.
Yes.
Like you're a touring comic.
Less now, but but I'm fresh out the gate now. So I'm like,
you recently separated?
Yeah, like within a year.
Okay.
And
yeah, so
like,
you're in good form right now.
Yeah.
Start taking care of yourself again.
Yes.
It takes about 12 months before you circulate going, I better polish this turd if I'm putting it back out in the market. You know what I mean?
People are like, hey man, you're in good shape right now. I go, wait, what did I look like before?
Yeah.
I didn't think I looked that bad. And then you start going through old pictures and it's like, oh fuck, I can see like the fucking pod on stage. You see the side angle
You were
shot?
comfortable.
It's got too comfortable. And honestly, like, I know that there are comics out there who can be like, oh, I'm married, I have children, and it's like, and they've got a good career. It was death for me. I just get too comfortable. I'm like, I'm not going to go out and do that garbage spot. I'm just going to sit here and watch fucking Game of Thrones or whatever.
Clearly, your tension had changed. All your negative aggression, you used as positive reinforcement for your child. Yeah. Right? It was all displaced anger, but you put it in a loving, caring place.
Yes.
Opposed to warring with idiots on the internet about your.
I'm ready to go to war, though.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's a good time.
I'm ready.
It's a good time to come back.
It is.
And get out of the trenches because, as you've seen, I don't know how many trips you've had to Austin over your.
This is the first time.
First time.
Yeah.
Do you want the lowdown?
Yes. Not only is this the first time, but this is the first conversation I've had about it. Like I got here last night at midnight, and I was just like, oh man, I've heard so much about the scene. I immediately started like looking at real estate prices.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
This might be your jam.
I'm always curious about that shit. So
it's cool. I've been here 3 years.
Wow.
3 years and a few months. Yeah. And I'd never even stepped foot in the state of Texas, and upon picking up my keys to my apartment.
Yeah.
And it's been cool. It's been very cool. It's a great city if you're looking for a lifestyle, but it is a little lopsided.
I've always admired like the way you just up and go, and like you're like, I'm going to relocate here for 3 years.
Yeah, that's what
5 years.
I didn't have kids,
right?
So I could, everything in my apartment I can burn, except my passport. Yeah, there's a few things, the shiny things.
I like this.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of things that I would just be disappointed about, but I always wanted to be in a position to go and travel. As you can see on that map. Those are all the places I've done stand-up.
That's fucking wild.
So 25 countries in 27 years.
That's really wild.
And I plan on going into a little more Eastern Europe, and I'd love to get out to like South America and some places like that. But fortunately, I've been to South
Stand-up
Africa.
hasn't even. I feel like stand-up hasn't even caught up in half the places you haven't hit. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
they're all mostly Eastern Europe, and
Right.
I was about 20 to 30 years behind.
Right.
Where a lot of the South Africa, Australia, and things like that have huge international comedy festivals they've been doing for years. But the jam is, the best comedy is where the worst weather is. That's why LA sucks. And that's why all the best comics, they come out of Boston and cold places like that.
because they're frigid people, right? They're just like,
Because they had to do brave elements to get to bomb. That's hard to psych yourself up to do.
Yeah.
To trudge in a snowstorm. You were in New York for
a lot of great comics coming out of Moscow right now.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, that's true. No, but they're not big. Any place that had communism doesn't really have. They're going to be another 10 years behind.
Oh God, fuck, minimum.
Just to learn
if
how to
ever.
smile again. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is funny about Russians, right? Like their general, like they've all got resting bitch face.
I
You know, they're
bombed
just
on
like,
television in Moscow.
Wow.
Bombed.
Wow.
Really bad. And if there's anybody that can stare, the Dutch would be the first.
Yeah.
Russians, I would give a hard second.
Really?
Yeah, there is nothing worse than giving it your all in front of a bunch of unimpressed Dutch people.
Yeah.
They couldn't have cared less about how bad I was doing.
Yeah.
In that moment, but oh yeah, the whole
Do you ever
world's
feel
opened up.
self-conscious? Like you're in all these different places. You only speak one language. You have to make them listen in English. Do you ever feel self-conscious about that?
Only in some countries where English wasn't that prominent.
Right.
Certain things, it's just more or less if you pronunciate your words. I found when I was drunk on stage slurring, the shows an hour outside of the capital, they weren't really up on their English so much in some places, but you would be surprised that I would be getting laughs in Slovenia on nuances that were setups to bigger things, and they were almost that the language and the structure that I'd used to build up to a traditional punchline, they were more interested in that physicality or a voice change or something like that. Was
Sure.
they had more of a
Like a little bit, like they're sort of like, almost subconsciously going to like a little bit of like a universal signal. You know what I mean? Like things they can read, like you said, like a little body language or
but
something.
it varies country to country to country.
Interesting.
Some places have more of a grasp of the English language.
Yeah.
And because of that, you did bad. Like, yeah.
It's so interesting for these
it's different.
crowds to go out and be like, let's go watch a comedy show in the third language our third best language.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the
they've
fuck would do
paid.
that?
Try and get an Americans to read subtitles in a movie.
Oh yeah, furious.
Fuck you.
Fucking bring this in my country.
Why am I working here? John, you're making me read during a art experiment?
Right.
No, and now, perfect example. Now you're a guy who's in my boat with a passport and a dream. You can go to anywhere in the world and do comedy now.
Right.
Do you have any top 10s
that I haven't done
that you'd like to go to?
Oh man, that's a great question.
Top 5.
I don't even think about that because, I mean, it's just like, I wouldn't think to go and do comedy in fucking Switzerland or something because I'm like, where can I really go? It's like London. I've done some comedy.
No,
in
but
London,
that's the thing. You go on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's simple as this. I always tell the guys, I go, pick your favorite 5 countries.
Yeah.
First of all, I ask them, I go, do you have a blood relative related to any of these destinations that you picked?
Interesting.
That's why I asked you about your grandparents.
Yeah.
And
That's actually how I live in America is because I'm native. I'm a quarter native Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
So they gave me citizenship. That's my whole visa.
Well, those other
situation.
quarters are in European countries. You're
Yeah.
also eligible to those same visas and passports.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't you like to live in Prague for a month?
Yeah, for a month. Sure, yeah.
and doing comedy.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I would like to do comedy in anywhere that they had like little separate like Avengers adventures.
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man was in Prague and
Fucking
in
right.
fucking France.
Yeah.
And, like, you know.
If you're into comic books, pick of all your favorite comic book. That's a great way to set up a tour. Actually, go.
Yeah.
Here's my 6 favorite comic books.
Yeah.
They highlight Paris, Germany, and DC or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
And I'd go to these landmark places in these comic books. But sorry, 5 places?
5. Fuck, I can't even name them. I don't think. But you know, I just love fucking England so much.
Yeah.
I would love to go back. I did a tour there. Got in a fight.
Yeah, well, that's where you do it.
I was doing the Real Deal Comedy Jam in
Oh, no.
in London, and
What
I'm the
venue
only
were you
white
at?
guy. We did like we did one show in London. I didn't even get to like really enjoy the fucking place because like we'd wake up the next morning and go to the next city. So it was like London, Rotterdam, Nottingham, Cardiff.
Cardiff is in Wales.
Right,
Wales.
right. That was the
Great
one that was
city.
like outside of.
Yeah. Welsh people are awesome. They have their own language and everything.
Yeah. I mean, all that little fucking island and their all their little
You're so
prides.
American right now. You're like, yeah, that's what they do. We don't do that here.
I know.
No, you'd be surprised on how much fun you would have hanging out with Welsh people.
Yeah. So I don't even know.
Rotterdam is in the Netherlands, though.
Okay, so it's not that. So it was Nottingham, maybe?
Nottingham. Birmingham's great.
One of those. It was either Nottingham and Birmingham. I was on...
How long were you in England for? 5 days? 6 days?
I think a week.
That's not enough.
No, and then I went back and did like just a few shows.
Yeah.
You know, headlined a couple like one-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
And was with my family and fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I would live there, 6 months a year if I could.
No shit. Yeah. You would. I lived there for 6 years.
Wow. So that's what I'm talking about. So it was that
6 years.
Switzerland, it was, LA, it's here.
Yeah. I think started off Canadian.
Yep.
Then I moved to England, and then I moved to LA. No, then I moved to New York. Then the snowstorm hit that year, where there was 6 feet of snow and buses were abandoned in the streets.
Right.
2006, 7.
Yeah, I remember
4,
that.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck this!" Moved to LA. Hated it. Ended up moving to spending 6 months in LA, and 6 months in Sweden, and just enjoying my touring schedule in Europe.
Right.
And then stayed in LA for 13 years, and then been here for 3. But I always go back to Europe. It's great. I usually spend at least a couple months out of the year.
You know what it was? I got there and I was like, I saw other people as white as me, and I was like, whoa, wait a second, man.
Yeah.
It was so gray.
Yeah.
And I just loved it.
No, you're built for that.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Like, seeing other redheads. I'm usually the whitest guy on any beach. And like there, I was like seeing everybody had my complexion,
And you're not one of the gross ones. Your
Exactly.
breed can go either side.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I got it. I had read it before this turned gray. I had red in my beard. My grandmother's from Cork in Ireland.
Yeah.
Grandfather's from Grimsby near Manchester, and then on my mother's side or my father's side, we're not sure. They've been farmers in New Brunswick for 150 years or something like that.
Sure.
As long as the country's been old, but yeah, can you find out whether or not you're eligible for a EU visa passport?
I bet you I could at this point.
Because that might be your bridge into London.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my grandmother is, from like her father was from London, and so or not from London, but England somewhere. So I'm sure I'm.
You just got to get your long version birth certificates,
right?
And honestly, when I had applied for it, it was a simple 3-part paperwork. My mother's, my grandfather's, and my long form birth certificates, and then a simple signature in the form and a check for $200, and then they sent me back my passport. I'm going, this is crazy. I can go anywhere in the world for 3.5 years, and then I could have applied for indefinite stay at the end of that. But I was fortunate enough that I lost my passport 6 months prior to the expiration date on it, and I sent them a note and I said, listen, I'm sorry. so Canadian. I've lost my passport. Here's another check for the amount. All the same paperwork. Can you put a new visa back in here?
Yeah.
I need this to work. They started me back at 1. So I got another 3 years out of this bitch.
Wow.
And that allowed me to keep my working comic and while my green card was becoming effective.
Right.
So that took almost 5 years.
Green card here.
Yeah.
I just let my green card expire here. But I mean, it's like it's $700. I gotta dig out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like that's more of a technicality because I'm native.
Yeah.
I'm a native of North America.
Yeah.
Like, I got a social security number. I came over the border with that letter that I got 20 years ago. Went to the social security office in Buffalo, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and they gave me a social security
No
number.
shit.
I've been voting for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
You're in deep. They got red tape. They got you.
Yeah.
You're not going
I'm
anywhere.
good. They just said but when I'm crossing at Canada, I bust out like a blood letter and my Indian status card from Canada, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're good." But like, try and do that when you're.
Oh, you got
entering
a
back.
status card?
Yeah.
What's going on in that body of yours? Are you a rape baby? What's going on? The world is ready for you now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes, I'm with it. I'm here for it. So this back to the story. I'm in maybe whatever the worst one is of Birmingham and Nottingham. Whatever the worst one is.
Well,
I feel like
Nottingham
it's Birmingham.
is upstate. Yeah, Birmingham, you don't fuck around.
Okay,
Is that where you got in the fight?
because I was fucking around.
You were
So
fucking around in Birmingham? Were you making fun of the locals? Because they don't take kindly to that. They've been dealing with that for a few hundred years.
no, so I'm going to an AA meeting.
Yeah.
Right? I go, oh shit. It's fucking 2 miles away. I take a cab there to get there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah, shit. It's like $30 or something.
Yeah.
And the hotel's only 2 miles away. So I'm like, I'll just walk. I'm not from here.
What could happen?
What could happen? I'm so fucking
Hello,
dumb.
governor. Maybe
Right.
a tip of the hat.
I'm like, there's no other like impoverished ghetto neighborhoods in other countries that I have to be wary of, right? So I'm walking back on this 2 mile walk, and I mean, I'm just trying to go off of like Google Maps. It's all
Looking like a tourist is
looking
what you
like a
tell me.
tourist.
Yeah.
And my spidey senses start tingling a little bit.
Group of kids following you?
A little bit. So it's like the worse the neighborhood gets, the
Yeah.
more posters I see with my face on it for the comedy tour, for this Real Deal Comedy Jam.
no.
And I'm like, oh shit, like that part was funny. So I go, I don't know where I am, but I've been walking for a half hour. I go, let me
Nothing's
just,
in a straight line.
right, nothing's in a straight line. That's right. So I go, let me just get on a bus. So like a fucking dumb tourist, everybody's on the first floor. I go, oh, let me get up on the second decker because my
It's
only
called the cage.
yes.
Nowhere to hide spot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
There's no
My-
escape route except down those stairs on the back of your neck.
I only see
And then you got an asshole and his 6 friends are sitting behind him. And now you're... What? Was it on the top bus?
So this is what happens. And by the way, my only experience with these stupid buses, these double-decker buses, is New York, and you see all the tourists on top going, oh! So I go, let
Yeah.
me go on top so
Yeah.
I can get a view
Yeah.
of where we're driving. Bottom floor, packed. I go up top. There's 6 kids at the back of the thing. Kids like teenagers.
The worst. British children
Yeah.
are the worst human beings ever.
Yes.
They're terrifying.
Snotty little motherfuckers.
Fucking cunts.
So I'm sitting down. This guy comes over.
Oi!
This kid from behind.
And they're probably smoking.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were.
They're smoking cigarettes on the bus?
Probably weed.
Yeah.
And then he puts his hand on my head.
Oh.
And I go,
Did you have headphones on?
No.
Okay.
And I go, what the fuck? And as I say that, there was 2 kids in the front, and one of them stands up and goes, leave that man alone. And then he runs over and starts getting in a fight with this kid. I'm like, I don't need you to fight my fights, man. I'm like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
stop, you know. And he's like,
Now,
"I'm-"
was the child that was in your defense, was he also a redhead?
no, Afghanistan.
Okay.
He's like, you think I give a fuck about you? I'm from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And this is like when
Seen wars.
Afghanistan, yeah. This is when Afghanistan's like getting dragged in the media
Yeah.
for being Afghanistan and Taliban. And I'm like, there's good people over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm like, listen, kid, you know, I'm trying to like break up the fight so I can fight him. So anyway, at one point, the kid who's got me, him and the guy are tangling. We get close to the stairs, and I just like throw the kid down the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs are like this, by the way.
Yes.
It's more of a ladder.
It is. And so I'm kicking this kid down like he's hanging on, and I'm just hoofing him down the stairs. on
And
this
there's
bus.
cameras. Like everything is being filmed. So you're in a highlight reel right now.
Oh yeah, I'm hoofing this kid off the bus, and the whole like first floor is horrified, right? So the bus stops. You know, this kid and his friends spill out, and I come down the stairs, just kind of looking around. Everybody's terrified. I get off the bus and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I think the driver actually kicked those guys off, went to stop, and then I jumped off.
You know why? I'm only speculating here, but I think because the retaliation of redheads are so vicious and relentless. They have a get you before you can get them.
Yeah.
So they didn't know they'd heard your accent. They're like, he's not one of the feral ones that we have here on the rock. He's this guy. We might give him a distance. I detect an accent. He might have a gun. He's American.
Right.
They probably never did any of that math. They were like, that's it.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah. Is that a thing? Like the redheads in England are like they're known
constantly
to be a feral
ridiculed.
breed?
I couldn't believe it. I was beside myself because I got it in my blood. There's freckles and copper in the hair.
Yeah.
And there was such a fucking. I've never heard any of this slanderous, stereotypical.
I mean, growing up in Canada, like as a goofy looking kid, like a scrawny kid with like basically a red afro.
Yeah.
You know, you get subject to some bullying.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize like we were considered to be like the pit bulls of England.
Oh, for sure. You give somebody, there will be an attack. Yeah, honestly, I've heard multiple times kids constantly terrorizing the gingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
It's a thing. There was a kid who committed suicide. The first year I moved to London, he was on the news. This so-and-so, he was teased relentlessly, blah, 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 and he'd offed himself. So, but I've always had and don't tell him, like, if you go to Ireland and bring up anything Irish related to them, they will be pissed off.
What do you mean?
They don't give a shit about any if your roots have
Of your
to be-
bullshit Irish. Yeah. They don't take any of that seriously, right?
No.
Yeah.
But it's a jungle out there. How come no more trips to London? That goddamn comedy jam, then you did a little run by yourself?
Yeah.
And how many dates?
There was probably like 5 little shows, sprinkled around 10 days or something. I would totally do it again. I mean, now. I mean, then it was, so before it was, I would take my family everywhere, right? So there was always the added expense of that.
That other 10 grand.
Yeah. Like I could come, I would do a casino gig, right? And, if it's just me alone, I'm coming home with $1,500.
Sure.
If I'm bringing my family, I'm coming home with $300.
Yeah.
Because I can eat fucking pizza slices and boiled eggs for 3 days.
For sure.
and my wife my ex-wife needed a walnut chicken salad, and my kid has to eat properly, and every meal's now like an $80 affair. And then while we're here, let's get winter boots or
you
whatever.
can buy a 12-slice pizza to your hotel room and eat that over the course of the entire weekend.
Yes.
Cold.
Yeah, like a savage.
Yeah.
For
That's
sure.
how we do it.
Right.
Savages. So what's been your experience? You've been here for what, like 30 hours in Austin?
Less. I've been here, 12 hours.
And what's on the schedule?
I'm doing Friday night. I'm doing a show outside of town, Pflugerville or something.
Okay, that's where Red Band lives.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like maybe about 20 minutes.
Okay, sweet. So, and then I'm just spotting around the city after that.
Yeah. Are you here Saturday?
Yes.
Are you doing anything Saturday?
Late show at the Creek.
Oh, the Filthy show?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's probably going to be your jam. I might even come out for that one.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
That one's usually sold out.
Oh, cool.
And it's Filthy. You're going to be Head and Shoulders.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be Head and Shoulders. It's going to be like, this is your standard of aggressive comedy. Just because you drop a couple N-bombs, you think you're on the edge.
Right. It's funny because I'll do these Filthy shows and I'm just doing my regular act.
Yes.
Dude, I'm just like, obviously you too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do this at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's called a show for adults.
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's a generational thing for sure.
Yeah.
No, they try and be a little more cheekier.
Yeah.
On the fly, opposed to being authentically pissed off.
Yes.
And vicious.
Yeah.
It's hard to develop. It takes time.
Yeah, right.
Marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the new like the newer comic Filthy is just like a ton of rape jokes and shit.
Watch any Dice.
Yeah.
Just watch all the protest interviews from all the comics from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then watch what people are complaining about now.
Right.
It's a very different ball game. Wah! You can't cancel me. I quit. That was like by 2000. I was like, I could feel that the industry and the people would always, the peanut gallery always had a lot of things to say. And I'm like, I was kind of painting this picture without you guys. You could take it or leave it.
There you go.
It's a picture of my buddy's asshole, and we all think this is hilarious. To this day, when people ask to see my children, I show a picture of my close friend's asshole as a reminder. Never forget. Never forget.
Yeah, you've made the sacrifices.
But you're gonna have a hoot here in Austin. You're here for like the
I'm
whole
really looking
week.
forward to it. Yeah. So I'm just looking to get up and just experience. Everybody keeps talking about how fun the scene is. So I don't know if you saw this, but I was told, like, when I did that little tour in England, they were like, man, like, we just had like our comedy heyday. Like, it was
The end of the boom.
Yeah, in the boom.
2004.
Right? End of the boom. I got there a couple of years later. They were like, oh man, like there used to be so many more jonglers or whatever.
Yeah. It's funny you said that, because that's where I always played. The Jonglers Club.
Yeah. I did like a jonglers on that one thing, and I forget what the other one was, but there was like the two completing clubs.
Highlight Comedy Store, and then that was about it. There was a couple miscellaneous club chains in the north and south, but
right.
it was jonglers, and then that had split into two factions, and Highlight kind of took over some. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I forget what the split. But so there was the boom there, and there was like, oh, this reminds me of like, or this is like New York in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's comedy. It's everywhere. People just go for the comedy. They don't give a fuck about.
Yep.
Like they're
showing up.
They're showing up because it's the comedy club. It's a Saturday night.
They couldn't get
trust.
into the mothership.
Yeah.
Because it's been sold out for a year and a half.
Right. So that's what I feel like is going on here right now. Right. Like
it's the Seattle
such a
scene.
Crazy boom. You know.
It's Nirvana.
Yeah.
Is Joe Rogan, you know, and then you've got Alice in Chains, would be Red Band, and you got like the whole Death Squad umbrella under Joe and Tom Segura and Tim Dillon and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I think you know, Gillis has just moved here.
Yeah.
So there's like a huge Mount Rushmore of legends at the height of their careers right now, and then there's about 300 open micers.
Wow.
So there's no working class.
Yeah.
All the journeyman comedians are, all the plumbers, welders, mechanics are not here.
Yeah.
There's only about 4 of them.
Wow.
4 of them. Ty Rivera and a couple other miscellaneous characters, including myself.
Right.
And 200 plus open micers and 10 people on the forefront of all this.
Yeah. It's fucking fascinating. And then like they're saying there's like 6-7 clubs. Like
there's 7 comedy clubs. East Austin Comedy Club. The guy just told me there's Brick House Comedy, the Mothership, Creek in the Cave, East Austin Comedy Club, and then because of the music, Vulcan. Cap City, Creek in the Cave.
Yeah.
And Joe's talking about opening up another club in the city.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. So I listen, I just came to
Boston
sort of,
in the 80s, Seattle in the 90s.
That's what I mean. Boston right now.
Yeah.
You think about Boston, all the great people that came out of there.
I almost moved
maybe
there.
3 clubs, maybe 3 fucking clubs, and the third one can never manage to stay open. So it's crazy
because of that
there's
middle
7
class
fucking clubs.
audience, people who had 9-to-5 jobs that worked real jobs. Can't afford to go to the comedy clubs anymore because the only comics that they hear about are the ones with the $200 ticket.
Well, that's it, dude. Like, you're paying fucking,
$200.
$200. Right.
It's not Pink Floyd,
dude. Even 60 is a lot of fucking money for some people. You know.
If I have to go overseas, I like to keep it 50 or less.
Right.
And if it's local, I do tickets for $10 sometimes because I know that neighborhood's fucked.
Yeah.
And this might be the best thing that might happen to him this year.
Right. Some fucking cashier wants to come and see you and they can't afford $60, you know?
It's a pack of smokes or your show, but I'm going to have to do without one of them. You know what I mean? Those people.
So I just wanted to, basically I'm here, well, because I wanted to do a bunch of spots, but also just kind of take it in and
I think you're going to move here.
Fuck. Well, I mean, I can't because of the kid. But I'll tell you what,
You can fly back and forth. It's a short flight.
and it's pretty damn cheap.
$170 return.
Well, this is what I was looking at. So I'm completely bankrupt.
Yeah.
When I got divorced, I walked out of the house. I was like, you can keep the house, the furniture, our friends. I don't give a fuck about any of it. Burn it. I'm out.
Awesome.
But
Good
also,
for you.
But also, I was like, I wanted to leave my wife as like, you know, and my kid
On her feet
in
to
a
a certain
stable
degree.
situation.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, listen, I can fucking go out. I will survive. I'll figure it out. I'll survive.
Pizza box in a hotel.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I've thought about it, but what I would do, I couldn't move here, but what I could do, maybe, I don't know. I got to look at things.
Sublet.
Fucking get a little condo apartment somewhere. Fucking Airbnb the thing when I'm not here.
I got a
You
guy.
know?
We'll talk about this
Yes.
off camera.
Cool.
I got a guy.
Awesome.
I got a guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is I don't want to get it, but you've just.
Yes.
Because this has been a common conversation, and my friend has something in place for exactly something like this. So.
Oh, cool.
But I think you dig it, and I honestly, I think you're probably good 3 months out of a year here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Realistically, and bang it out, you can get everything that you want to do
Yeah.
in 3 months in Austin, and that's usually when the weather's shit everywhere else.
Right. This is like, I could never, ever be here in
August.
fucking can't. I did
Die.
I did hyenas.
June, July, August. You cannot be here.
I did hyenas.
health hazard.
10 years. Fucking right.
Yeah.
I did hyenas. I've got fucking melanoma on my face living in New York.
Yeah.
I was here
with the pollution. That's a sunscreen over there.
Yeah. The orange haze. I was here at hyenas fucking 9 years ago, 8-9 years ago, and I did the Fort Worth Club and the Dallas Club.
What
And I was-
month?
May. And I
Okay.
was like, fuck, it's nice, but it's hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much is a house? Back then it was like $123,000. You get 3 bedroom, 2 bath, granite countertops, and a
Garage,
swimming pool.
yeah.
I was like, I was fucking blowing my
Yeah.
mind. I was like, I'm moving here. And then I was complaining about the heat. And he goes, you think this is hot? It was like 90.
Yeah.
90's fucking
Yeah.
topping the meter for me.
Yeah.
He's like, you think this is hot? Buddy, it'll be 100 for a month straight. I go, I'm not moving here. That's
100 for
That's
2
it.
months straight sometimes.
Fucking nuts.
110, 120.
yeah.
We were sprinting from where we had to do things downtown to my house on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
You can cook an egg on anything that is exposed to light.
Wow.
During that time,
I'd be running around here with like an Asian lady umbrella.
you look like a goth chick going through a divorce. Big black umbrella.
Yeah.
A fucking veil.
Yeah,
no,
a goth
But you
tranny.
don't. No one wants to watch comedy when it's 100 out anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you've lived in the East,
Yep.
and you're not moving to Hollywood.
The thing I really loved about this place when I was doing those shows here years ago was it's a relatively short flight.
Look where it is on the map.
It's the
you
fucking
fly
hub.
that way.
It's
you
the hub.
fly that way.
Right. It's a hub, you know. So I mean, listen, there's lots of reasons to do it, but I'm so excited to be here to like dive into that, to dive into all the fucking
Yeah.
clubs and hang out.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, stranger things have happened.
You're going to see there's a huge generation gap. Like I said, think of the plumbers
Yeah.
and the mechanics that
Yeah.
are not here.
Right.
It's all people are crying. The kids are getting sober. They've been doing comedy for 2 years and they're getting sober now. They've been around the bend, they said. I'm like, you're so fucked.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
You're going to be relapsed.
Yeah.
You haven't even had real tragedy.
Yeah, you're depriving yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Get arrested.
Yeah.
Write
Yeah.
a show about it.
A couple times.
Get to build some character.
Yeah.
And what was some of the things that were you just hearing about the scene here? Because it's clearly, I got comics I know all over the world that are flying in from
Really?
Sweden and Scotland.
And it's just to come and hang and
Come and
do
see what
comedy.
it's all about,
That's
yeah.
it. I mean, basically what we talked about. You know, it's just, but
Change.
also, it's a bunch of people. It's exciting. Or a bunch of clubs. You know,
Yeah.
it's an exciting time. But also that there is a real gap in between like good comics and
There's
you know.
tons of dog shit.
right.
Tons of dog shit. And I could every time, because I really look at London, England, and New York City as the most polarizing, realistic measuring stick for comedy.
Yeah.
And those kids, they won't last.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford it financially, never mind emotionally.
Right.
I go, it's going to take you 4 years to meet people.
Right.
in the comedy community in a city like that. They
Right.
come and go.
And crack.
They come and go.
Right.
All the time. All the time. I love it. I love seeing the cracks.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big crack guy.
I dabbled.
But you got your sobriety.
Yeah.
You're a single guy.
Yeah.
And you're here in Austin.
The sobriety feels sometimes. I've never felt more shaky. Maybe, So I was with a chick. I just broke up with her because it was getting too comfortable.
Oh,
She's like a doctor. She's like,
Yeah.
you don't got to do anything.
You don't
can
need that now.
And I'm like, I have to leave.
Yeah.
I go over there like at midnight, on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then because I had a couple of shows or something, and then Monday. Monday she had her. Wednesday's a great date night.
Yeah.
And then Monday she had her kids, and I was like, I'll come over after the kids are asleep. And then she goes like, this isn't a real relationship. Like, when are we gonna have time? I'm like, I'm already giving you too much.
Yeah.
I'm not even like fucking 2 nights a week right now.
Yeah.
When I don't have my kid, I gotta be.
You're dealing with
active.
3 families: your comedy
Right.
family,
Yep.
your blood family, and this new family here. So that's a lot on the plate.
When she said that, I was like, listen, I can't give you what you want. I
Yeah.
gotta break up. But
You're a
before
lovely lady.
She's fucking great.
Lovely.
She's fucking great. Speaks 3 languages.
Way
fucking
better than you.
Doctor. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you even, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm taking gas station dick pills to fucking nail you properly. Like, why are you with me?
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's like she was dating a doctor before, like married to a doctor before that.
She knows
just
what
wants
she
to have
gets
fun,
with you,
know?
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was like, I gotta go and fuck off and do more.
Yeah.
So, but she was like, she'll go have 3 beers, smoke a joint, wake up the next morning, and be like, okay, I gotta go do like a 12-hour shift delivering babies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't be that I can't be your level of do your level of productivity sober. And then it started to be like, I just started to ask the question, like, fuck, maybe
I'm gonna end up being this bitch's pet. I'm gonna be a lap dog, a big, strong, healthy lap dog.
100%
With back pains from sitting around coming all day. Back pains
on her schedule,
Coming.
not
Yeah,
all day. It'll be on the days that she's not working.
Yeah,
100%.
and you've got it all scheduled
And she
out,
would
honey.
want it.
Yeah.
And she would take that.
Oh.
She would fucking take that.
Yeah,
So.
you're a sewing machine with a horror.
Yeah.
She just brings you in the
Yeah.
empty me.
Trots me out in front of her friends. This is the comedian I was telling you about.
See how clean he is? Isn't he lovely? Yeah. Not like that other piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Because being a comedian, you live a lot of, your life is a lot of wind changes in a lot of directions constantly.
Yeah.
And they see that their stress levels manages quite well because you're used to being in high stress situations.
Yeah.
So they probably find some comfort in that you're not a fly off the handle lunatic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a part of that's, also because of the sobriety, because I was a fly off the handle.
Yeah.
But also she's like, I've never been able to be as honest with anybody as I am with you because nothing's gonna fucking ruffle me.
Yeah.
Like, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
I got thick skin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say some fucked up shit to you too.
Sure.
You know?
There's going to be a response, to
Yeah.
say the least. And most times, it will be very harsh and comedic.
Yeah.
I'll turn that harshness and then create it as
So
some
many
comedy
times she's
out
like,
of it.
well, that's not funny. Why do you think that's funny? And I'm like, oh no, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was breaking up with her, and and I'm just telling her the things like I can't give you what you want, like you
Let's bring her out.
You want somebody? we're at a coffee shop. I did this yesterday before I got here, just so I
Jesus.
could fire up the Hinge app.
Yeah.
And I go, and she was like, she was even like, listen, if you got to fuck somebody like on the road, she was saying all the things
Yeah.
to fucking lure me in. She's like, I get it.
Don't get on the Hinge app.
Me.
You'll be
Yeah.
back in the soup again.
I know,
Where do you
I
think
know.
that ends up?
I know.
With a really nice girl. She's got all, and then you're sitting back 3 years ahead and the same girl with the same smile on her face.
47. It's like, all right, it's time to get serious about comedy.
Yeah. Right. I gotta hunker down.
Yeah. So I told her, I'm like, listen, we got to break up. And then I'm like listening to this, and then it was I don't want to miss a thing was playing over the radio, and I looked at her, I go, I mean, the timing of this song is fucking perfect, right? And she goes, John, this isn't funny. Yeah. I'm like, I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then we were walking away. We're walking out of the place, and I go, let me walk you to your car. And she's like, no. I don't want to see you again. I go, no. I need to walk to your car because my skates are in the trunk. We had guys skating. I was like, let me just get all this shit now, you know?
It's like a Spinal Tap scene.
Yeah.
No, I remember an Eminem song playing during a breakup, and the lyrical as aggressive, and it was right on the money.
Yeah.
And I started laughing.
Yeah.
And she said, shut this shit up. She knew the song was more or less about this cunt.
Yeah.
That I was standing in front of. It was quite funny to see her lose her shit.
Yeah.
I said, I had nothing to do with this.
When she clues in on the joke,
Yeah.
like, fuck it.
The comedy gods have graced us.
Yes,
And
yes.
you don't know how to take a joke, you fucking twat.
And this is a part of the reason why we're here.
Are you in Philly now?
No, I'm outside. I'm in Jersey. Like, I'm an hour out of Philly.
Yeah.
I'm about equal distance from New York to Philly.
Were you driving or training?
Driving.
Was it like a half hour?
No, hour. Full hour.
A full hour, okay.
Yeah. Hour and 20 into Philly, hour into New York.
I haven't, that was, New York was something, after living in London for so long, the time I got to New York, I was kind of over it. Those fucking horns never stop honking.
Yeah.
It was, I was living in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
In mid 2000s, I think, and those fucking cab drivers all day, every day, outside of my house honking for picking up people at Airbnbs in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah, right.
was
It's like, you
relentless.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
I remember. We were at my baby was like maybe 6 months, and you're in Brooklyn. Like, you never get to park in front of your house.
No.
You got to park 5 blocks away. My car got broken into twice. Somebody's car alarm's going off at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Baby's up. I go down and fucking write in magic marker in Sharpie on his windshield, like, fucking shut your fucking alarm off. And I was like, the next time I scratch it into your door, motherfucker. But it was just that constant type of fucking
The city's against you.
Yeah, the city's against you, man. Totally, dude. And I was done with it. I did it for 10 years, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. But I'm here with my buddy, and he's running around. He's recording something in a couple weeks. So
Is he a
just,
comic?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So he's just getting shows, doing shows. And we were grabbing groceries today, and some fucking old guy backs out, and he just goes whoosh, like around him, and I'm like, dude, you can't drive like you're driving like you're in New York right now.
You get blasted.
You're gonna give people heart attacks. You can see the old man's head lighting up, and I'm like, dude, he's like, yeah, you're right. I got
gear down.
Yeah, you got to gear down. I remember doing that in Calgary. I was visiting my sister out there.
You get your teeth kicked out in the parking lot. Those Albertans don't fuck around.
Yeah. I was doing shows in Edmonton, but I was visiting my sister in Calgary, and I just did a New York lane change.
Yeah.
No light in between 2 cars, plenty of room, but unheard of.
Guy followed you in his truck for 6 hours.
Oh my God. I could see him erupting in the rearview mirror, and I was like, fuck. I'm laughing and egging on a little bit, but I'm also feeling bad because I know what I just did was like, I was being a prick,
It's hard to be a New Yorker in Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
In Toronto, you're easily paired up, but you go to Alberta and pull that Toronto attitude.
Oh, I mean, even New York, if you could imagine, I was talking to my buddy on the phone. He's like, this fucking cocksucker's blocking me in. He's fucking double parked. And my buddy's like a lifelong bouncer, fucking like knots in his head from fighting. And I'm like, dude, you wake up and your car's double parked. Like, there's cars double parked. It's called alternate side, dude. Like, there's cars blocking you and you just can't get to your job. Hopefully the guy comes out and moves, but that's just fucking.
That's how it goes.
That's the vibe in New York,
Yeah.
or the flow of it.
And you
I don't miss that shit at all.
No, that's one thing I did not. Texas is wide open, as you can see.
Yeah.
It took you 10 minutes to get across town.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Everything is fucking 9 minutes away.
9 minutes away.
Yeah.
People are I go, what, 9 minutes? She goes, yeah. I go, everything in this city is 9 minutes from the center. So I don't know what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And you clearly you haven't gotten into the barbecue yet.
No.
Plenty of it.
Yeah.
I'll make some recommendations.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But there's right on 6th Street, just kind of like the Double Down, like a punk rock bar right on 6th Street called the Casino El Camino, has the best burgers
really
I've eaten anywhere. Yeah, if you're a burger guy, you can get
I'll take a burger over steak, actually. I'm a big burger guy, like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So much good food here. Yeah, and you're gonna find out. I know this is you've been in the city for hours.
Yeah.
You've got a plan. You got a filthy show at the Creek in the Cave on Saturday.
Yep.
At 11 o'clock. And where can people find you doing your thing? Are you posting?
Yeah.
Are you on top of your? Are you coming back into your TikToks?
Oh yeah. So comedian John Moses on Instagram. I'm doing the gas station dick pill review right now.
Oh, I saw a bit of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, since you've had a kid, I haven't paid close to. But you're getting
I haven't had much to pay attention to when I was.
Dude, you're gonna end up with impotency at the end of that fucking cesspool because you're just grabbing.
Yeah, anything. Whatever looks the funnest.
Do you get lab tests on whatever you've taken? Have you had any?
Nothing. It's all like.
Because it's very inconsistent, the measurements on those.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And some of them work and some of them don't, but then some of them actually like, really do work. That's the other thing. It's like I'm about to do like a rack now. All of the gas station dick pill reviews before was my
you going to a rack?
My girlfriend. No, like I'm doing like a whole new rack of gas station dick pill reviews. But it's like new season, new bed because I broke up with that broad, right?
To piss her off for that.
She's just stopped following me immediately.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when you set up your bullets for the fucks you're about to have.
Yeah.
What are some of? Well, what are your top fives? Is there a consistency with a label or a?
No, so the Samurai X was the best one that I've.
Samurai X.
Check out if you get a Samurai X. Now, but if you can't find Samurai X, because that might be like region to region. That was that's like Northeast. Look for anything with maca powder in it. Maca powders is a big one.
Not matcha.
Right.
Maca.
Is it matcha?
I don't know. Is it green?
I don't know. No, it's MACA. That's all I fucking know.
You just remembered a few things off these ingredients, and you think that's going to guide you through this?
Yeah.
You're not even sure if it's maca or matcha. It could be matcha.
Listen, I've spent 45 minutes researching this stuff. I feel pretty confident.
Let me get my lab coat. What are side effects?
Generally speaking, headaches.
Yeah.
I took one. This fucking pill. It was a my buddy's like at a gas station. He's like, you got to do this one. It's got monkeys on it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't even know that monkeys fuck like that, but let's try.
Yeah.
I thought they were more known for masturbating, but let's give it a go. So I took it, and it fucking, buddy, I had a rod for 2 days, but then I was like sick as a fucking dog after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to take a little dick pill break for a minute here.
You're getting orange blots on your shaft. Like there's some sort of blood circulatory.
There's lots of blots on my shaft, but I don't think those are from dick pills.
Old patches. Yeah. Oh, those are birthmarks.
We call that road rash in the comedy biz.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
When was the last time you toured Canada?
I've never toured Canada.
Really?
Yeah, I've never toured Canada.
You just stayed in Toronto. What?
I've done some things in Canada. Like I did the Edmonton at the mall there.
Oh yeah, the Yuck
Rick Bronson's joint. But that was just through because that guy owned some American clubs, and it was just like you pop up and do that. But yeah, other than that, it's been Toronto stuff, Hamilton shit, just like Southern Ontario.
Well, this is your year.
Yeah.
This is your year. With the dick pills and newly singled, you're in Austin. Yeah. It's happening.
Yeah.
There's stuff happening.
No, I feel good.
And I'm what do I do? I've got shows coming up.
Yeah. Nice.
I got shows. I'm going to start on the west coast of Canada.
Cool.
In the beginning of April. And Vancouver, Calgary.
Nice.
Winnipeg. And then I'm going to go down to do something in Toronto the first week of May. And then June will be some Europe. I'm going to go to Denmark and try and I want to get Germany and Poland on my list.
Oh, you haven't hit those?
I haven't hit those yet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I've always wanted to go to Poland.
It's so funny because I think of you and I'm like, oh yeah, this motherfucker. I could feel like you'd be doing comedy at some smut house in Germany where everybody's dressed in leather.
I have done events like that.
First,
before.
It's the comedian, and then it's the fuck party.
Yeah, that happened in Vegas at the Green Door.
Oh, really?
Sex club. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'd done a gig there, and then after the show, they said we're going to open up for regular customers. You guys can stick around, and there was this fucking big gangbang room.
Yeah.
And I remember just walking around like it was Disneyland going, what the fuck is going on? And I said, Dad, and everyone stopped fucking and started looking around for this toddler. Oh, you're hurting mommy. Wait a minute, that's not mommy.
Yeah.
Good laughs. Good
Oh, that's
times.
funny. I did a fucking swingers party at a hotel, and it was me and
They
three
can
other
be
comics.
super conservative, though.
Man, it was funny because they were like, you go in, you sit in this room, we'll come and get you for the show. You do the show, and you get the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want no loser roosters running around
Yeah.
here fucking our women. You know,
Yeah.
like, well, like
Yeah.
they're at a premium.
I've got 10 guys here to fuck my wife.
Yeah.
I don't need number 11.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
rules here.
Exactly. Like we've got like a delicate fucking man to woman ratio here, dude. Like we don't need you guys. You're not bringing
Doesn't
nothing
look
to the
like
table.
fun.
No, that's just weird to me anyway. I never want to fuck a chick with her husband watching me. Like I'll feel like I'm gonna get a knife in my back. But so we did the show and it was fun. And you know I was
A knife in your back. Wink, wink. Yeah. Where did he get that knife?
well, it's bleeding. There's blood on it.
Yeah.
So I do the show, and I'm like, all right, that was fun. You know, it was like a ton of fucking crowd work in a place where everybody's
Yeah.
naked and fucking each other. And the other comic was losing his fucking mind, dude. He's like, like a fucking dog.
Overstimulated.
Overstimulated.
Yeah.
And they were like, you got to get him out of here. And like, we
Yeah.
had to drag him down the fucking hall, and he was like, I've never
Was he
seen
a Down
anything like
syndrome
it.
or something?
No.
That's a kind of Asperger's Downsy type of thing, isn't it? Was he hard when you guys were pulling on him?
That's how we. What do you think we were pulling on him by?
Oh, by his dick. This leash has got a heartbeat. But the worst part is he was facing away from you while you were pulling his dick from behind.
Yeah. But I wasn't hard on him, for the record.
No,
Like
you
that.
had your foot up on his ass, pulling it like you're trying to get a rag out of a door jam or something.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, what's your Instagram?
Comedian John Moses.
Comedian John Moses.
That's it.
Expect to
That's-
see John Moses out and about, as we say in Canada,
Yeah.
touring across the U.S. And you'll probably be living here by September.
By 3 months a year by September would be a great goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks
Sweet.
for being on the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks
for
for
having me,
watching,
dude.
everybody. New stuff coming, exciting things coming. I'm dropping a special. I think it's coming out April 1st. But
Awesome.
I'll let everyone know about that and some other things. But go to jasonrouse.com. You can find out all that stuff. And thanks again for being on the show, John.
Oh man, thanks for having me, dude.
I appreciate it. When I saw you start posting that you were coming to Austin, I'm like, cool, we need some reinforcements. So
Oh yeah, no, I was excited when you reached out. So
awesome.
cool.
All right, thanks for watching,
brother.
everybody. Boom.
Sweet. So let me get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
I'm running this story right now.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe word with Jason Rouse.